Wash, I imagine the first goal of any season is really important for a striker, even more so when it's your first for the new club. So how was Saturday for you?
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was obviously something I've reflected on. And the last two clubs I've been at, I've managed to score quite early. And it just takes the pressure off, I think. Which is also, obviously we can say the same about the team now as well, with that first win. Hopefully we see a lot more sort of a relaxed atmosphere and body language, etc., from myself and also from the team.
Did you get, the seasons where you did have to wait a little bit longer, would you get anxious? Would you get nervous waiting for that first goal?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's probably, I don't know, I've never really thought about it, but maybe like a 5-game cut-off, I don't know. After 5 games, you're thinking, probably need one now. And then you start doing things a little bit differently to get yourself in more positions. And maybe, like you say, you do get a bit anxious, snatch at things a little bit. But yeah, it's nice to get the monkey off the back early doors, really.
And how do you reflect on the win at Burton as well? It's a pretty convincing scoreline in the end.
Yeah, I thought we were... Well, it was a derby, wasn't it? So I think the first 10, 15, 20 minutes were always going to be tough. It's not an easy place to go, whether it be a derby or not, to be honest. Obviously, pitch is very small. It's about as hostile as sort of 4,000 or 5,000 people can make it. And they're never an easy team to play against, whoever the manager's been, to be honest. So I think we managed it quite well. Early doors, obviously great for Colo to score. Set pieces, obviously something we worked really, really hard on. So I'm sure the coaching staff will be delighted with that one. And then I thought we looked relatively comfortable up until a little period in the second half. But it's 90 minutes of football at League One level. There's going to be periods where you're under pressure, and I thought the back line performed brilliantly, to be honest. Especially obviously after the last couple of games where we've conceded sort of 4 almost freak ones, to be honest. I think they all stood up, took responsibility and got the clean sheet.
I wanted to ask about how you're sort of feeling physically now, because you didn't have the pre-season that everyone else had. You had rehab to do after an injury. Are you sort of up to speed and happy with where you're at this point?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think Tuesday night was tough for me because you can do as much training and as whatever as you like, and even obviously managed to play a little bit of pre-season, not as much as I'd have liked, but the game comes at you fast when you've not played for a while. I think it was April 1st, my last game, and even that was off the bench. So it's been a long time since I'd started a game of football, and I think it was probably evident to myself and probably everyone else that there was a little bit of rust there. But all I can do is get more minutes on the pitch to sort of try and alleviate.
Were you disappointed to miss out on some of the more hardcore bits of pre-season, given that you were doing the rehab?
Yeah, definitely, because obviously it's never nice, those like you say, those tough periods in pre-season, but at the same time, I felt fantastic coming off the back of the pre-season last year and just sort of rolled into the season and played like 17 on the spin sort of thing. So, which is something that I'd not done particularly often, especially at that level with the intensity obviously that we were having to play at with being at Rotherham. So, yeah, I'm disappointed to have missed out on that, but for me now it's just making sure that I get in the best shape possible, sort of topping up wherever I can to make sure that the rest of the season is injury free.
There are quite a number of new faces in the dressing room. You're one of them. I'm always fascinated by how quickly sort of groups come together and how soon it feels as though everybody's been together for years. Is that how it's felt this time for you? Yeah,
for sure. I think I was really disappointed to miss the sort of team building aspect of going away, because although it can be a little bit tedious being with each other sort of for 7 days in a row, 24/7 it feels like, but you get to know people really quickly. But I think the beauty of being my age now is that I've played against a lot of the lads or know people that have played with them for a long time. So it's been really easy to settle in. I think the coaching staff obviously play a big part in that for me as well. And being around so long, the lads know what I'm about and they will have heard what sort of character I am. So yeah, it does. The older you get, the easier it does get to settle.
Got the first win on Saturday. The start of the season is such a busy time, and you play again on Tuesday night. How do you try and take some momentum into the game against Oxford?
I think the momentum sort of takes care of itself, to be honest, because the break in between the games is so small. It feels like you go from game to game. But I think the beauty of being at Derby is with the luxury of having the facilities we have here. There's no excuse not to recover professionally and do things right. So that's what we'll be looking to do over the next sort of 24, 48 hours leading into the game.